y'all, welcome back to Adventuring with Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Y'all, I have no pep in my step this morning because it's like 10 a.m. I'm still drinking my coffee and it's very cold outside. It's 58 in the van right now. It's in the 40s outside. Got down to like 31 or so last night. But I wanted to jump on this morning to tell the story of my shredded tire from yesterday because even though I'm feeling good today, I'm still waking up. I'm kind of a mess, and this is like an indication of what I went through yesterday. So as I tell the story, I'll kind of show you guys footage as well, but essentially what happened was I left my Pahrump, Nevada campsite yesterday morning. And the BLM camping on Wheeler Road, if you're familiar with Pahrump, it's essentially a massive gravel road. And it's not dirt, it's gravel, which is not a problem, and I don't think I got anything in my tire on that gravel road. However, there are some like sketchy, really crappy roads that lead into that gravel area by the BLM land. And I'm just guessing, that's my best guess, that I picked up something in my tire on one of those roads. So after I left the campsite yesterday morning, I went and got water, we got lunch, I dumped trash and got some fuel, and everything was normal. I didn't notice anything, and we decided to head to the Alien Center and the brothel. Yes, I will have a completely separate video on that. So there are active brothels here in Nevada, in case you didn't know. So we decided to do that, which was only 40 minutes away. So we started driving, and the drive was very pretty and very peaceful, and there was nobody on the road. And it's funny because one thing that I actually noticed was that the road there is in really great shape. It was just like smooth and there were no issues. About 15 miles out from the Alien Center, which is at Area 51, my tire pressure light went on. And I didn't really think much of it because I figured, it's probably been a little while. I probably need to put air in my tires, especially since I've been like traveling and going up and down elevations. So I probably need to do that anyways. And I know that there's a gas station over by the Alien Center, so hopefully I can just put some air in my tires. Not only was there a tire air pump, excuse me, at the Alien Center, but it was literally right in front of the brothel, right in front of the sign. So I was excited because I took a picture of my van, like right in front of the sign. I took video. Here I am outside the brothel, like putting air in my tires. But I noticed that my driver's side rear tire was the lowest. So I was like, okay, that's fine. If something's going on with the tire, because I didn't see anything or hear anything. I didn't hear like a leak, which I've heard before in one of my other tires. I figured I'm going to drive back to Pahrump because I'm going through Pahrump to get to my next destination. And if something happens, I'll be able to stop at a shop in Pahrump and get it figured out. But I didn't make it. I didn't make it there. I was 8 minutes from the tire shop, 5 miles away from the tire shop, when my tire blew and it shredded. And so I ended up in a nice little gravel pit on the side of the road. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. That's what I'm going to say to start. It could have been a heck of a lot worse. We could have gotten in an accident. It could have been nighttime. It could have been on a Sunday when tire shops aren't open. Like, it could have been so much worse. But it was 1:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. And I started panicking because I can change a flat tire. Easy. I can do lots of things on vehicles. But I have a shredded tire, and now I'm in a gravel pit. So the first thing I did was I called the tire shop that I was on my way to. And I was like, look, I'm 5 miles away. Do you guys happen to have a truck that can come get me and help me? And then I started crying, because then I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm on the side of the road with Wynston. Like, Wynston was my biggest fear. I could have like done anything by myself, but Wynston was my priority. So he told me, he's like, no, but we work with this tow truck company. He's like, if you want to call your insurance, whatever. He said, but I'm going to text you a picture of the card for the tow company, and they can get you over here and we'll get you taken care of. Because I told him that I drive a 2018 Dodge Grand Caravan, which I will point out right now, it's one of the many pros of having like a regular vehicle, like a minivan. You can get into any shop and they're going to get you taken care of. They're going to have the parts you need. They're going to have the tires that you need. And that was the case at this shop. So I called my insurance. Turns out I don't have towing. I thought I had towing covered. I didn't. They wanted $120. I was like, I'm not giving you $120 and spending all this time. I'm going to call this local guy. I'm going to pay him whatever he wants, because I know that he can be here quickly and he'll get me to where I need to go. So I did. I called this company. Super nice guy. He was there in 30 minutes. And he actually even let me drive my van up onto the tow truck. So I'm going to show you that footage, but I will also say that although Gary and I had already parted ways for the season, he's heading back to Nebraska for the year. I called him in hopes that he would be in the prompt area, and he was literally 5 minutes away from me. So thank God Gary showed up 5 minutes later, and he was able to wait with me for everything. He took some footage because he knows obviously I'm a YouTuber, and he made sure that I was safe. He followed the tow truck to the shop and did all the things. So thankfully I ended up having a friend with me there, and that was massive for my mental state, just knowing that I wasn't alone. I will also say that there were 2 people who pulled over to offer their assistance on the side of the road, and that was really awesome. I was surrounded by kindness yesterday, so it could have been a lot worse, and everyone was very kind. So let's get into the footage, because now looking back at it, like, it's kind of fun. At this point, my tire had just shredded, and I'm on the side of the road. This is what it looks like, and I'm right across from the airport. Gary had arrived, so I made my phone calls, and I was waiting on the tow truck. But Daryl did arrive 30 minutes later, and here he is, getting the job done. He was so kind. He was so nice. He did everything he could to make me feel better about the situation, but here I am on the side of the road just watching my baby get towed. Again, thankfully, we only had 5 miles to go, but it was at this point that Gary took that funny picture of me looking like I was hitchhiking. And what's bizarre is that there were actually signs on this road that said hitchhiking prohibited. So I can make light of the situation now, but at the time I was extremely stressed out. We had an 8-minute drive to the tire shop, so there I go. Wynston and I got in the tow truck with Daryl, and he was so awesome. That was Winston's first time ever driving in a tow truck, so I guess there's a first time for everything. When we got to the tire shop, Jerry from Tire Works was actually waiting for my arrival. He was ready to get me taken care of, which was incredible. And Wynston was able to just relax with me in the waiting room. We were in and out of the shop in 45 minutes. It was a great experience overall. So these are, this is one of my new tires. I got 2 new tires because I figured, you know what, I'm not going to have them just replace one. I'm going to have them replace 2 because both of my back tires were old. So this is them, all looking nice and shiny and new. Thankfully, my wheel was not damaged yesterday. Wheel meaning this whole piece, right? The hubcap and whatnot. So, but as you can see, I kind of got some fucked up shit going on around here. But you know what? It is what it is. Like, unfortunately, I kind of beat this thing up with all of my desert driving. So that's life, but at least I have 2 new tires on the back, and my front tires are only a year old, so I should be in good shape now. After all was said and done, I spent about $500 yesterday on my tire repair. Now, I do carry a spare tire, but since I was in that gravel pit and my tire was just absolutely shredded, I decided not to mess with the spare because it's actually kind of a pain to get out of these Dodge Grand Caravans. And honestly, I knew I was going to need to replace my back tires this year. So what's weird is that I replaced my front 2 tires almost exactly a year ago, like this month. So my front 2 tires are brand new. So I said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to spend the money and get my back tires replaced. So it was an expensive day. It was a stressful day, but overall, the ordeal was only about 2.5 hours because of how fast I got towed, got to the shop, and how quickly they got me in and out. However, when I left the shop and I started driving, the speed limit was 70 as I approached 70 miles per hour, my van was shaking. Not like violently shaking, but definitely a wobble. Um, I seem to be aligned. I don't think the alignment is an issue. I just think there's like a balance or a weight issue. So, I'm taking my van. Today's Sunday and they're not open today. So, that's okay because I've been able to relax today, clean my van, get stuff organized and done. So, tomorrow I will take my van back to the shop in the morning and have them fix it. I don't even think they test drove my van, but I'm not blaming them or mad at them simply because I know that they were really busy. This was in the afternoon. They closed at 5. There were a ton of people there, and they prioritized me. Like, they knew I was traveling with Wynston and they wanted to get me back on the road. So I really appreciate that. And I'm not angry or anything, but it does need to be fixed. So I'll take it back to the shop in the morning. There is a tire works near Vegas that's actually like 10 minutes closer, but I figure I'll just go back to Pahrump and have the shop that put my tires on fix my balance issue. And while I'm in town, I might go to the laundromat again and also take a shower at the fitness center there. So um, I'm trying to make everything like a really positive experience. Now I have, year old front tires, brand new back tires, and I'm just praying that after I take it back into the shop, there are no more issues. But now I'm also very weary of the streets in Pahrump because that's where I got something in my tire. Um, and it is what it is. So I was gonna have to get new tires this year. This just happened to force me to do it. So a huge shout out to Daryl at the tow company and Jerry at Tire Works and in Pahrump for really taking my situation seriously and helping me out. Um, I really appreciate it. And of course, to Gary, who was able to be there for me and make sure I was safe. That was absolutely invaluable to have my friend there with me. So, in the meantime, there were other things I wanted to do in Nevada, but it is way too cold. So I'm making my way back east toward Arizona. And I still like after I don't even know what my plan is right now. I just need to get back into the shop and make that my priority. So, that's the deal. And that's the story. And I will have a different video about camping in Pahrump and going to the Alien Center and the brothel. So be looking out for that. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all of your kind words in my Adventuring with Amanda group and on my community page. A lot of you were sending us positive thoughts, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Remember to like this video, and I will see you next time.